Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching this word and believing this word, Lord willing, that y'all continue in sound doctrine and in the same Spirit. Shalom to the Akwath that are believers of His faith and His truth. Lord willing, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shemal Shai have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. So we're going to just go over a few verses in Isaiah, the 34th chapter. Lord willing, this is edifying and you learn something. So this is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Right? So this is a worldwide judgment proclamation. Right? Even when we look at Joel, the third chapter, right, where the Lord is gathering the nations, the Most High is calling all nations to listen, because His judgment is not just local, it's a global thing. Right? Let's slide over to the actual Joel, the third chapter, and let's read. Let's just start at verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," basically restore or turn around, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land," divided the land. Who is the land divided amongst? Right, the so-called Edomites, Amalek, right, and the Arabs, the so-called Muslims. Let's go to Obadiah, chapter 1, in verse 15. Now you could keep on reading that, Joel, because it gets into a few good points. Verse 15. We'll just go to verse 15. It says, "For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen." It's 18 nations, in the Bible. Now, the scriptures, salvation, deliverance, immortality, that's all for the children of Israel, right? So, the 17 other nations are the heathen. "For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head." Right? And the reward that they're going to receive is double. What they did to us, they're going to receive double. What they sold unto us, they're going to reap the benefits when the roles change. Right? That's, Lamentations, the 4th chapter, verse 21 to 22, or 20 to 22. The roles are going to change, right? They're going to get double, right? And it's going to return on their own head. And I think if you go to Psalms 37, verse 15, right, they're going to fall by their own sword, right? Their little devices that they're making is going to fall on themselves. Let's get Revelations, the 18th chapter. I believe we can start at verse 5. It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven." Even though they said all nations, I'm going directly dealing with Esau, because he is the prime ruler. He is the face of this power, right, that's ruling. "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities." Dealing with the whore in the chapter before, chapter 18. "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double," right? The works that she hath done unto the children of Israel, right? When it go into the slavery, right? Look at these 9-to-5 jobs, how they were butt breaking the men, how they were misusing the women, you know, because we were merchandise, or they called us cattle, right? We could keep on going to the rewards that they was doing unto us, and they're gonna receive double, right? Let's go back to Isaiah. So Isaiah 34, and let's read verse 2. It says, "For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, that anger, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter." Now through the Spirit, he's already delivering these nations to the slaughter now, right? Because again, Isaiah 46:10, the Lord declared the end from the beginning, and he's going to do all his pleasure. So all these things that are written, that were spoken in past, that's being seen now, right? They're going to be fulfilled, right? Technically, it's already done, right? So when we're looking at this verse 2, Yahweh's indignation is that righteous anger. He is coming against all armies, which, let me just get this precept if I can. And he's going to do it through Yahweh Shai. This is Revelations, the 19th chapter, in verse 19. It says, "And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." Right? Esau and his angels, or his allies, the other nations, are going to make war against Yahweh Shai and against his army, which is the angels, right? Which is the angels that's going to arrive with Yahweh Shai when he actually returns, right? This is why men of the Lord is always saying, be ready for things to be fulfilled, right? Even like Asher always saying, you know, you that say you believe, get ready for the worst, because this Babylon is going to end with a big bang. Not a Big Bang Theory, but a big bang. It's gonna go out the way it was prophesied about, how it was gonna go out. But it's going to be the best horrific scene, because it's gonna be a great massacre, right? And the destruction is already written in prophecy, meaning that it's as good as done. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, right? I know a lot of y'all in the flesh, man, the Lord take it too long. Oh man, they said this, they said that. But Habakkuk 2 or Habakkuk 2 and 3, right? The vision is only for a appointed time. Everything is going to be fulfilled when the Lord says so, right? When we look, the Lord has this whole system in a time frame, right? Everything has to be fulfilled at the time frame Yahweh Shema Shai wants it to be fulfilled. Going back to Isaiah 34 in verse 3, it says, "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Right? The coming judgment will leave so many dead, right, that the bodies that's gonna be in the land are gonna have a stench to it, right? And when you go into this word mountain, I believe Revelations, the 17th chapter, in verse 9, when it talks about the 7 heads, these are kingdoms, right? Verse 9, it says, "And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth," right? And those 7 mountains are 7 kings, right? Which is the Greeks, Rome, the British, the Spanish, the French, Germany Major, and Germany Minor. Let's get Micah chapter 1 and verse 4. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valley shall be cleft as wax before the fire, and as the waters that are poured down a steep place. Right? That mountain is going into the governments, the powers, right? They're gonna melt beneath Yahweh feet, which lines up with 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, right? 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, right? Dissect that, read that chapter, right? Read it in the KJV, and if you even gotta dissect it even more, read it in the GNT, right? So their rulership will be brought down by bloodshed, right? That's why I kind of quoted, not even the verse, but just quoted the sacrifice when you go to Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, verse 6 and 9. It's going to be a sacrifice on the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, right? It's going to be massive bloodshed in order to bring back order, right, in this world. You know, when the Lord did the first death was the flood. Now the second death, what is that? It's going to be these ICBM missiles, this war, right? The nuclear fire, right? Let's get one more verse. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree, right? And when it says, like when you look at a roll, the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, that's going into the fire from the nuke, right? When they drop down, you have the fire that push out, and then after it push, you get that heat, you get that wave, and then it sucks back in like a vacuum, right? So the coming judgment will leave so many dead bodies that the land, Salaki, I'm over here still quoting the 4th verse, right? So when we look at heaven's role as a scroll is the nuclear destruction mushroom cloud, right? You could just go on YouTube and look up the mushroom clouds, or look up nukes or big boy being dropped on the ground, and what is the after effect. This is Revelations chapter 6 verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place, right? Because the after wave, right, when it hits, it pushes. It's going to be a great scene, man. It's going to be a great scene, right? They're going to move out of the way. This is, again, when you watch videos on nukes. Now, another point, the host of heaven is what? The ruling powers of the nations fallen, right? Let me say it again. Ruling powers of the nations fallen. That's the host of heaven, right? Let's get a gospel precept in the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 18. This is what it reads. It says, and he said unto them, I beheld. Actually, let me start up just for you guys. Let's start at verse 16. It says, he that heareth you, heareth me, and he that despiseth you, despiseth me. He that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. Wait, what? Now, I know, especially if we speak about Revelations 12, like the war in heaven, this is really speaking about heaven is a form of rulership. That heaven is on earth. So he's going to fall from his rulership that's on earth, right? Oh man, I gotta get one more. I gotta get one more verse, man. This is Isaiah 34 in verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Beheld, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Right? The sword bathed in heaven is Yahweh's judgment executed on earth through war, right? That Armageddon, World War III, and nuclear fire. Right? Let's get I believe is it Revelations? I think it's maybe Revelations 11. Is it Revelations 11 verse 14? Yes, Revelations chapter 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? This is that war, that Armageddon, right? Which is what's going to happen during that time? It's going to be nuclear warfare, nuclear fire, right? So when we was at Isaiah 34:5, where it says, and it shall come upon Idumea, right? Really dealing with Edom, modern day called the white man. But Edom is the head of the power of the earth, right? They're in rulership, right? They're in rulership. When Yahweh shall return, Esau is going to be in power, right? He plays a very important role in this ministry, right? Not in this ministry, but, in the doctrine. When you understand the Lord's story, Esau plays a major role. This is Malachi chapter 1 in verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. He has a righteous hatred towards Edom. And they builded the desolate places. And the Lord is going to bring them down from on high. He's going to throw them down. Symbolic to Jacob grabbing Esau's heel. Come on, man. This is a puzzle. It's all connecting, man. This is all connecting, right? They are the people of my curse. That's what the verse said. It said, upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? Because they are chosen for wrath, right? Let's go to Romans chapter 9, right? It's terrible, right? Especially all y'all Edom. When y'all hear this, that should just make you sit and be like, damn, man, I was only created, chosen to be the wrath. Hey, and Jake, this should be your motivation. Yes, you dealing with this. You might be poor. You just paid your bill. You have money in your pocket. Now you broke. Guess what? You on this side, we wasn't meant to live lavish and have all the great things, right? Hey, it's certain things that you do have, but it costs money to have those things. And then while you even have it, you only enjoy like your car. You only enjoy just driving it to work, or place where you gotta go, right? You might want to travel to another city and might not be able to, right? Because your funds. You travel to another city and you ain't got no funds to go buy something to drink, something to eat, then there's no point in even, going on that ride. So this is Romans 9 verse 22. It says, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. In the NLT, in the same way, even though the Most High has the right to show his anger and his power, he is very patient with those on whom his anger falls, who are destined for his destruction. He's patient. So why everything is not moving? Technically, like in the ancient world, like real ancient, back before the flood, when you go to Genesis 6, right, wickedness grew up to the heavens. Yahweh Shema Shai is allowing this wickedness that Esau doing to reach unto the heaven. And the Lord is going to hit them swiftly with their judgment, right? They're not just about to just be living it out and go unpunished. The Lord is allowing their wickedness to reach unto the heavens, right? And I want to get I think verse 11 is what I think I want to get that one too. When you read verse 11, it says, "For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil," right? So before Esau was even born, right, not having no record of doing good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to the election going into selection. So Esau was selected to be a vessel for dishonor, right? While the Israelites, first dealing with the elect, were chosen or created to be for honor, right? So the election might stand not of works, but of him that calleth. The Lord calleth Esau to be the wicked, right? In the NLT, but before they were born, before they had done anything good or bad, she received a message from the Most High. This message shows that the Most High chooses people according to his own purpose, right? It was the Lord's purpose. That goes back with Isaiah 46 and 10. The Lord declared the end from the beginning, and he will fulfill all his pleasure, right? It's the Lord's pleasure to make Esau the basis of men. He's the lowest man on the earth out of all nations, right? The most wicked out of all nations, right? But Lord willing, we could probably finish the chapter. We went through Isaiah 34, verse 1 to 5. So Lord willing, this is edifying. This shall be fulfilled. This prophecy shall come to pass. Make sure you being circumspect. Make sure you sharpen the edges of your sword, so you could be counted faithful, right? Because when it's MOTB, famine of the word, Jacob trouble come, all the things that you have done to make your faith grow is going to benefit you on this side. Lord willing, we are of the hopeful elect. So with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom. All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Al-Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders, a great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit and sound doctrine, Lord willing, that y'all can continue in this thing. Shalom to the Aquad, believers of his faith and his truth. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom, shalom, abba, abba.